Hey, konnichiwa, minasan. It's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. How are you doing? You good? Are you Genki? Genki means well. I'm good, thanks. I'm Genki. I'm excited to talk about Superman, but before I get into the review, just let me say, if it's the first time finding this channel, thanks so much for clicking on this video, taking a chance on a small channel with a, dare I say it, positive take on Superman, the movie 2025.
How dare you!
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from a prepared written review I was working on today, which I haven't finished. Typical Grey. So I'm going to read from that first. I'll drop some clips from the trailer. Well, not clips. You can't do that, can you, without Warner Brothers taking you down, nuking you from orbit. And what I'll do is I'll put some pictures from the trailer, so that'll help. So who wants to look at this face? Not for long. So let's get on with Superman 2025. What did I think? Now, this is pretty much throwing some thoughts. I've only seen the movie once, okay? Make that clear. And this is what my initial thoughts are. Forming your own opinion is very important. I've listened to a few reviews on YouTube, bits and pieces here and there. I've read a few online. And the reviews have been very mixed, with more negative than positive reviews. With my interest in comic books, there was no way I was going to miss this movie. I'm so glad I went to see it at the theatre. Because this is it. I really enjoyed it. It's not a perfect movie, but it's not as bad as some people are saying. It's a movie that should be watched on a big screen, of course, right, with a great surround sound. I would have seen it on an IMAX screen if I had access to one. There's nothing like that in my town. There's the city I live in. Say city, it's like a town really. It's a long, long way away in a galaxy. Quite close for the newest IMAX screen. So yeah, I couldn't do that. But let me give you a little bit of background on Grey. I'm a huge comic book fan, but I'm not the biggest Superman comic book character fan. I've always loved the original Christopher Reeve, 1978, Superman the movie. It's still the best Superman movie, in my opinion. Remember, folks, people have different opinions. But Superman 2025, believe it or not, has jumped into second place for me.
You what?
It's just edged out Superman 2. Can I say edged on YouTube? Superman 2 from 1980. Yes, I'm serious. Don't stop watching. Hear me out. Superman 2 is a really fun movie, and it has Terence Stamp's classic kneel before Zod, performance. So over the top, so campy, so great. Just great comic book villain. Also, the seriously sexy Sarah Douglas as Ursa. Phew! Be still, my beating heart. Well, no, not yet. But Superman 2025 really impressed me. Enough to soar into my top 2. Right, what did I like about it? Just let me give you some of the positives before I get into negatives. One of the things that really hits you about this new Superman film is how bright and colourful it is. It looks like a comic book on screen. After the muted colours of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, Superman 2025 is a breath of fresh air. It looks beautiful. Bright colours, blue skies. You know what? They can make you feel optimistic, like me, and hopeful even. Well, they did for me. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen the kaiju fight, we've seen part of it. There's this crazy cool kaiju fight in Metropolis which takes place in daylight, in bright sunny daylight with blue skies in the background, and it looks awesome. I think it looks great. Yes, there are some slightly dodgy CGI moments towards the end of the film, but this kaiju fight I think is fantastic. Okay. The Superman flying scenes are great and they look very convincing. Well, of course, I hear you scream, Grey, 1978, Superman, Christopher Reeve. Of course those effects are going to look ropey. That has never bothered me. I believed back then, folks, I believed a man could fly when I came running out the theatre, the cinema, because, yeah, I am that old. Anyway, it's great seeing him flying around. The flying scenes are so convincing, they really are. Through and around Metropolis in the sunshine, as well as the snowscapes where the Fortress of Solitude is located. And again, if you've seen so many of the teasers and the trailers, you've already seen this scene. But seeing this scene, wow, poet don't know it. When the Fortress of Solitude comes up out of the ice, it's fantastic. It's unbelievable. You feel it, man. You feel it. Again, in my opinion, James Gunn and co. have nailed the casting in this film. David Corenswet plays a great Superman and Clark Kent. He's not as good as Christopher Reeve, but who could be? Rachel Brosnahan, I always want to say Brosnan, Pierce Brosnan's daughter, no. Rachel Brosnahan is excellent as Lois Lane. This was a nice surprise for me. I've seen her in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Yes, I've seen that episode too. And she's, she was good, but she nails it. She's really, really good. She's the best since OG Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder, is that right? That sounds weird. This is what I've typed. The chemistry between the two leads, so Clark and Lois, is really strong, and it leaves you wanting more scenes between them. And that is a common complaint, a common criticism that a lot of viewers are making. And it's there. Not just between Clark and Lois, but they want more character interaction scenes with the rest of the main cast. That would have been so nice. That's my one main criticism of this movie. There are a lot of cool action scenes, it moves very fast, it's fast paced, but unfortunately, character development is kind of lacking. It feels like maybe that's been sacrificed to cut down the runtime, give you a fast dose, even though it's still 2 hours. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It would be great if they brought out a director's cut, with more character development. But hey, we'll see what happens. We do get a terrific, Mr. Terrific performance by, is it Eddie Gathegi or Eddie Gathegi? I liked all three members of the Justice Gang, as they call themselves. Nathan Fillion is just great as Green Lantern. Big guy Gardner fan here. He's a total arsehole, but that's what he's meant to be. Really annoying. And I thought Hawkgirl? Hawkwoman? I thought she was pretty good. I know she's not the best in the movie, but I liked the moments, apart from her weird Black Canary style screech. Yeah, I quite liked it. Nice mace, by the way. In fact, the movie has made me want to read more of the character Mr. Terrific in comics, because I've only read a few things here and there. Now, here's random fact number 1, folks. The movie version of Mr. Terrific, this character is called Michael Hoult, is the second person to take that name in the comics. Did you know? Mr. Terrific made his comic book debut in issue 44, this version, the second version, issue 54, of Spectre, back in June 1997. Thanks, Wikipedia. In January 1942, yes, even before Grey was born, the original Mr. Terrific made his first appearance in what was called Sensation Comics, issue 1, which is what DC and I think Action Comics became. This version was a character called Terry Sloan, a rich man with a photographic memory, Olympic-level athlete skills, and mastery of the martial arts. Oh yeah. He was given the nickname the Man of 1,000 Talents, but he was kind of disappeared out of the timeline around the 70s, I think, and the Michael Hoult version, as I say, he made his first appearance in 97. So yeah, he's been going almost for 30 years. I said 40 then. 30 years of this Mr. Terrific, but it's got me to go and look out for some of the comic books that he's appeared in. There's actually currently, funnily enough, there's a Mr. Terrific, I think year 1, being published. I did read the first issue, but I wasn't that sure about it. But anyway, maybe I should go back to it, give it another chance. But yeah, he was a surprise MVP of the movie, apart from Superman, David Corenswet. He really is good. He's good. Now, I want to make this point clear. He plays a kind of he's a young version. So that's why you get the kind of, you've seen some of the shouting scenes where, he's not sure, he makes mistakes, he's flawed, he's still learning to be Superman. He's only been doing it for 3 years when this starts. That's when he made his announcement. He came out. Can I say that? He came out as a character Superman 3 years before the movie starts. And it's a bit of a weird opening. You get all these numbers about 33333. But anyway, I like being dropped into the action. So yeah, what's next? Nicolas Hoult plays a truly villainous Lex Luthor, and I think that's a good thing. We need proper screen villains. We don't seem to get them anymore. Apart from the English. Like me, we're always the villains, aren't we, and everything, but you know what I mean? There's been a lack of proper villains. Yes, he's cartoonish at times, but he's dangerous. He is scary at times. Until, again, there's a bit of a weird scene at the end, but forget about that. Up until that point, he makes a great villainous Lex Luthor. It's cool. And Nicolas Hoult delivers great performance. So I was impressed with all the characters, pretty much, apart from the president of that country. He was way over the top. But, don't forget, this is a James Gunn movie. It's got a lot of James Gunn isms, attached to it. Not as crazy as Suicide Squad. Not as Marvel-y fun. Well, it is still a fun movie, but the Marvel fun in Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn's best movie, I think, that is not quite duplicated here. And, people have complained it doesn't work for DC. But why does it have to be so serious? It's based on a comic book, okay? Let's have fun with it. And that's as far as I've written in my review. So yeah, that is the main part I want to get across. From now on, I'm just going to kind of go on a little bit of a tangent, a bit of a Wakizashi waffle, talking about things that I liked. I'm not going to talk about the plot. I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah. So if you want to keep watching, please do. But that's the gist of my review. For a score, I would give this, it's between 7.5 to 8. I'm Mr. Positive, so I was close to going for an 8, but the more I think about it, I think I should give it, realistically, 7.5 out of 10. So a 75% score. Okay, that's great. Thanks for watching, but do keep watching if you want to hear Grey Wakizashi waffle.
He swaps his longsword for a Wakizashi, so
one of the most important things about this movie is it gives you a feeling of hope, of optimism. It's bright, it's breezy, it's fun. It's romantic, it's sexy at times. That's right, folks. Romance has come back to the comic book movies. Yeah, James Gunn doesn't have the characters dressed too revealingly. Can I say that? I don't care. I'm old, I'm skebby, so what can you do? But it's got romance, it's got feelings. Not enough, unfortunately, but that is good. That's been lacking. It's so much more bright and, optimistic, as I say, positive than Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, which I don't dislike, by the way. I think it's a decent movie. There are things I don't like about it, but it is a pretty good movie. So, if you're a Snyder fan out there, yeah, I'm sure you haven't even watched this far. You've already clicked off when it started being positive. But I do like Man of Steel, although I think there are some big flaws with it. But yeah, David Corenswet, he totally delivers a performance. I wasn't sold on him, wasn't sure before I saw the movie. I'd seen clips here and there, I'd seen some random things where it looks a bit weird, looks a bit off, the costume and all that. It looks great, and he delivers big time. You can tell he's really enjoying it, and he's a good actor. He's an actor. I think he's stage trained, right? So he's a proper actor. Again, Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan really surprised me, so very good. So about the actual movie, it does move at a pretty fast pace, and that's another criticism I've heard. Didn't bother me. I've got a big background in comics, so maybe that's why I just, I took to the movie no problem. It felt like reading a comic book story. There are some dark moments. There are some incredible visuals, some really cool, weird visuals where we go into the pocket universe. The scenes with the Element Man. Is it Metamorpho? I'm forgetting now. I want to say the Elephant Man. No, that's David Lean. John Hurt. Anyway, they are weird but good. And the James Gunn humour does come into it with these parts in the pocket universe scenes. But again, no big spoilers. What else? Clark Kent's adoptive parents, like the Kents, yeah, we don't really see enough of them. Again, I think this might have been things that were cut for the running time, things that are on the, the cutting room floor. So I would have liked to have seen a bit more. And I don't know, they're a bit hammy. They're a bit like, really going with the accents and, oh my son and all. I don't know, yeah, it didn't quite work when you think how young Superman is in this, how he's portraying himself as quite young, almost adolescent. I know he's not, but that's how he comes across. They are so old. It's a bit weird. And we only see a little bit of Jor-El, his father, and, oh my God, Stream Brain, I forget the name. Is it Lana? Not Lana, that's Supergirl, isn't it? His mother, Clark's mother, Martha! No, that's Martha Kent. Anyway, we don't see enough of them. We see a tiny bit of them. And that particular scene has caused a lot of controversy. People are losing their minds. Again, doesn't bother me. It's a different take, but hey, there you go. And it delivers later on. There's a reason for that, especially with the third act and the ending. The ending is really good. Apart from the kind of, I'm not going to spoil it. There is not another ending, but something happens right at the end where you're like, oh, really? Oh, you're setting up that movie, are you? Oh, well, that kind of makes sense. Crypto didn't bother me at all. It was sometimes a little bit, I don't know, a bit annoying, but looks great, looks real. And there are some funny moments with him. And, he's heroic as well. There are also some, if you're averse to seeing pets in peril, there are some quite worrying scenes in as well. But don't worry, James Gunn doesn't go too far, thank God. Thank God. Go and pet your doggo. What else? As I said, the kaiju fight I think was great, really good, very cool. The scenes of Superman being Superman and saving people, even saving a squirrel. That's a James Gunn moment, isn't it? Yeah, they're very cool. But maybe just a bit more, as I say, a bit more character development would have been nice. And yeah, maybe we'll get a director's cut. So that's it. Thanks for listening to me waffle on. If you're still here, I really appreciate it. This has been Wakizashi Grey from Wakizashi's Teahouse. And Do check out my channel if you've not been here before. I do weekly comic book reviews, just one, usually a week. And I do a live stream at the weekends. It's usually American time. It's like Friday night late, midnight Eastern, or it could be a little bit earlier, depending where you live. And early morning Europe. But yeah, do check that out. And I hope to see you in a future video. Thanks to all the members, you guys and girls rock. Can't believe you're still here 3 years later. I've had the channel for 4 years, but I've had memberships going for 3, just about. No, is it 3 years? Maybe 2.5. Anyway, I can't believe there are still people who joined back then who are still members, still supporting this channel. Thank you so much. It means the world. It really does. And yeah, that's it. Ooh, before I start getting all misty-eyed, hope to see you in a future video. This is Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse signing off for the night in the hot and humid Japan. Matane.